Yellow Solution Uncle, please hide my identity when you publish. I was a maid at this Colombian community house based in Cape Town. Those people paid me very well, but it was not easy to stay at their house. They have weird behaviors. Sometimes they could eat uncooked meat. When I was about to cook, that's when I noticed there was no more meat in the fridge. It happened several times. Sometimes I could hear them making weird laughs even at 3 a.m. in the morning. Another thing which shocked me is every morning I saw a new person coming out of the house. It was shocking and hard to understand what time might he or she came. I stayed in the cottage. What I left things like when going to work is what I returned to see them. Clothes would be looking like someone was wearing them. It seems as if someone was sleeping on my bed. During my first days, I could not sleep because of fear. Thoughts to leave were in mind, but I was afraid to lose those good high salaries. My relatives urged me to leave, but I rejected because I wanted money. Within time, I started getting used to the place. To be at this workplace, it was because of my cousin's sister. She worked in a fashion shop owned by Colombians. They announced that there was a vacancy. This comes at a time my house was not in order. My grandfather was sick and we could not afford hospital fees. At the same time, I wanted money to rewrite my matrix. Situation forced me to go to the Colombians' house. We were more than 20 girls who came to apply on the same day the advert was saying. They chose me of all the girls, so I've been working there since 19 February of 2019. I managed to look after my suffering family. I used to be afraid of these Colombians till they accompanied me to my grandfather's funeral. I started seeing them as good people, despite all their weird habits. As people I see as clean people, I started to steal some stuff when I was going for off days. Last Christmas, I stole spices when going for Christmas. I think the things I took were spices, but it was human ashes of their relatives. I went with the containers at home and put in the food I cooked for the people on the Christmas day. On 26 December, I received a call from my employers. They said my work was over for stealing. They sued me. I've been in jail for the past year. I returned last week. I'm not happy with my family's condition. Everyone who ate the food I cooked is sick. They went to hospital several times. The disease is not seen. What should I do? Yellow Solution Uncle, please publish anonymous. I am a girl aged 16. Something is eating me up and I don't have anyone to share with. I suspect my father used me in rituals. Why could you keep quiet whilst I'm suffering? My biological mother passed away when I was still a toddler. I stayed with paternal grandmother till she died. Grandma died when I was 8. I moved to my father's house. Daddy was staying with stepmother, stepsister, and one half-brother. We stayed well. Stepmom treated me like a princess, just like what she did to her biological daughters. I loved the house because everyone there loved me. One day, I was asleep at midnight. A male voice whispered in my ears, "Quickly remove your pant." I don't understand what happened on that dream, but the following morning, I woke up to see blood all over my pajamas. I was afraid to tell anyone and remained quiet. I didn't tell anyone. About a week after the incident, I started going to my periods. I told my stepmother and she went with me to clinic. At clinic, they said I'm okay. We thought it would vanish with time, but every week I was now on period pain since those days. The pain lasts for 3 to 4 days. I am getting used, but it's affecting my life. I don't have peace and freedom to play well with other children of my age. Since when I started struggling with this horrible disease, my father don't like me to play with other people, not of my family. I am not allowed to go to church, family gatherings, or to school trips. He said he was safeguarding me. Soon after finishing our lessons, at school. Dad will be at school, gets to pick me home. If a relative talk about the solution to my problem, Dad will hate him or her. My father hated some people because of their suggestions which were against my problem. Later, I became so used with my problem, I stopped going to school. Told my father I need treatment, but he always said there was no money. A recent night, I started feeling something coming to my breast when I was asleep. The thing was feeding on them. I went to the hospital with stepmom. They said there is no such kind of disease. They urged us to go to spiritual helpers, but my father did not take it serious. The next day, my breast started releasing milk. From then, I completely stopped school. I don't have friends anymore. I'll be indoors for most of my time. If I try to go out, I retain with my clothes very wet of milk. It's shocking. I am producing milk, but I don't have a kid. My father is not allowing me to go for spiritual cleansing. He took protection orders against people trying to help me. Please, uncle, hide my identity. I am using my stepmom's phone. She will be in trouble. That's my story. The next confessions are strictly for the people above the age of 18. All viewers below the age are advised not to watch or listen. Yellow, please keep me anonymous. I am an orphan. Lost both parents before 12 years old. Was living with my auntie to another until a woman got a job for me to be selling her products for her. It wasn't easy, always working in sun to sell creams. So I got good passes in my school, but my auntie were not willing to help me to tertiary, so I was still selling the creams. One time I met this man in the traffic and he didn't buy a cream, but he gave me 100 Ghanaian dollars and his number to call him. So later I got the chance and called him, and he told me he wants to help me and I'm a nice girl, plenty of things he told me. We met somewhere and I narrated my story to him. He promised to help me go to tertiary. So that was last year. He got me into UG, paid by administrations. My aunties have not seen me in like a year, and they have not even called to check up on me. This man rented a place for me. He has done everything for me. You name it. He never complained if I need money for anything, and he has been sleeping with me anytime he likes, although he is married. We don't talk about it cause one day I asked about his ring and he said his personal life is not my business and I should never ask about his family again. He also doesn't want me to ask him what he does or anything, only his first name, and even that he lied about it. One day after he came to my place for sex, I saw his card on one of the things. He is a big lawyer. I went on Facebook and found his pictures and wife. He is a respectable man who posts a lot and has followers. That's not even my problem. My problem is that he was very nice to me and he had days when he could sit and chat with me about my life and future. Cause apart from him sleeping with me, he acts like he is my daddy and I really like that. These days, he has been somewhere. He is always angry. As soon as he comes, he doesn't talk to me, just removes my clothes and fucks me. Then he'll bath and leave. When he is on his way to my place, he calls to make sure I'm in the room. If I'm not, he gets angry and shouts on the phone to make sure I get there before he comes. Sometimes I am on campus studying for an exam or buying food or even just chatting with friends. One day he threatened to lock me in the room if I start disobeying him. Later he said he doesn't mean it, but he scares me sometimes. Please, what should I do? I'm just 20 years and I have no one. He has promised to get a good job for me if I get at least a second class upper. So I'm trying. I don't know what to do about my life and how he treats me well sometimes and insults me other times. Please advise me. I'm sorry, my sister. I'm sorry for what is happening in your life. This story is so touching. So touching story. Okay, let's move into our next confession. Hi, my name is Na. I am 36 years old, married with 2 kids. Now here is my confession. I married 5 years ago to a wonderful man then, but now I'm confused about himself. I must say the first 3 years of my marriage was wonderful. I never thought of cheating my husband, even though the sex was not that good. I mean, no intimacy, no foreplay, and he is all about suck my nipples. Every time after sex, I am so due to the dryness, and not once has my husband asked me if I'm okay after sex. He comes and that's it. We have never had sex twice before, like 2 rounds, never. In our 5 years of marriage, I can boldly say that we have had sex like 10 times. I last time I had sex with my husband is July of 2013. Until now, we have never had sex. It is also because I think I am falling out of love with him. My husband is unforgiving and seriously arrogant, and he is out there saying things he doesn't do on social media. And I always see people commenting, I want to be like you, etc. And I laugh. I mean, we have 2 kids and he doesn't pay school fees, no chop man, nothing. Our second baby is now 1 year old and my husband has never brought 1 pack of diaper for that baby before. Just he goes on Facebook to brag about things he doesn't, and people worship him. I am frustrated with myself because I do everything and take care of the home as well as I think the little you can do for me is to show appreciation and sex me frequently, but he just doesn't care. The only conversation I have with my husband the whole day is good morning. That's it. Because of this, I am having issues. No drive, no attraction to have sex because his attitude puts me off and also because there is no fun in it. On the other hand, I always find myself masturbating with my ex in mind. Now this guy is someone I couldn't marry because of our age difference, but my word, he could chop me really good. I decided not to meet with him after marriage because I know I'll sleep with him. So I tried my best to avoid him until his dad invited me to come for a program we organized in 2021. That was 3 years after my marriage. And it happened when we met, we had sex on different occasions in 2021. And I decided not to see him again. It was hard, but I did. In 2023, I had an affair with a colleague of mine, but I called it off, and also because he is married as well. I had an issue with my ex, and so for some months now, we don't talk. In fact, since February of this year, he never spoken to me because of an incident that happened. Last week, he called me for us to meet, and he apologized for what happened previously and talked about how much he missed me. He asked if we could have sex, and I don't want. But Charlie, I am sex starving since July and nothing. So yes, I gladly did it with him, and he gave it to me 2 rounds sharp, and we both went our separate ways. Mind you, I have never slept with him since we did it in 2021. Again, there is this old classmate of mine that recently reconnected again, and we started talking. But to be very frank, I just need a friend and not someone to be sleeping with. But they again also feel I should go out there and live my life because my husband doesn't seem to care about me. I mean, for 5 years he has never initiated the sex. I always have to do that, and it pisses me off. So if I don't ask for him, it's fine with him. And I sometimes feel he is sleeping with someone out there, which I frankly don't mind so long as he is taking care of himself. That's okay. This old schoolmate is married too and seems to want me, but he is in fear of getting involved, which is fine. Anyway, I'm just hoping we both can remain friends and be there for each other. Even though I sometimes feel he tells me he likes me just so that keep asking for money. So I guess my question is it okay for me to keep seeing my ex just for sex and pretend to my husband as everything is okay? I know it's wrong, but friends, I also need my mental health or help me out. Thanks. Hi, please hide me. I am engaged. I have never met my partner's grandparents. They passed away before we met, but I always dream about these grandparents telling me to give him messages. His mom recently passed away. I always see her in my dreams giving me messages for her son, but the son doesn't dream about those people. Like recently, his mom told me to tell him not to go anywhere on the 16th. I told him, he didn't listen, and as a result, he got hurt while trying to stop a fight. Aibo, what could be it?